evening from Logan, Utah, and on campus with the Aggies for the final time this season. As Utah State plays host to Wyoming inside the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. This is Mountain West basketball on FS1. And with Doug Gottlieb, I am JB Long. Glad you're with us. As we take a look at the Mountain West standings, the Aztecs clinched last night at UNLV. San Diego State has won 11 in a row. And Doug, I think the takeaway here for Utah State, the Aggies solidly on the NCAA bubble, potentially one of 4 teams from this conference we'll see in Indianapolis.
But my belief is, and as you know, JB, I got a chance to see USC, who has a chance still to win the Pac-12 last night. There is no discernible difference between them and Utah State. I think Utah State should be an NCAA tournament team. But in order for the numbers to work, can't lose tonight, can't lose to Fresno in 2 nights.
For Wyoming, 3 freshmen in the starting 5, including Marcus Williams, who could well be the freshman of the year in this conference. As for Utah State, no Brock Miller tonight for the Aggies. That snaps a streak of 92 consecutive appearances for Miller. There's Craig Smith, who is 5-0 against Wyoming in his tenure, and pretty good in March as well, Doug. 8-1.
Well, he is a fabulous coach. This is an excellent staff, and they've almost immediately turned this thing around. And Jeff Linder, who of course comes over from northern Colorado, he had done an outstanding job in Greeley before moving just slightly to the north to Laramie, where now he's trying to resuscitate this proud Cowboy program.
Only meeting of the season between these programs, rescheduled from February, and I think important for Utah State's chances.
It is. By the way, the Cowboys, new jerseys with the script Cowboy across the front. I'm a fan.
Partial to the Pokes, we know.
Partial to the Pokes, but also script Cowboys. I'm a big fan there. They're not going to guard Justin Bean, and he hits him here. They will not guard him, and he has... When Gottlieb's on the mic, just let it be known, Justin Bean, he's basically Steph Curry meets Klay Thompson.
Got his swagger back last week in Gets Nevada, didn't he?
He's got a little dangerous play here with the shoes. Those sneakers he's only worn once. It was one of the Boise State games. Those are 2 of their losses in conference play. So they got to get the good juju going.
Xavier Dussel off the jab step 3 comes up short.
And Dussel, one of the talented freshman guards. He and Williams, we're going to go to Northern and play for Jeff Linder there. Instead, get a chance to start for the Cowboys in the Mountain West.
Rooster out to Bean, steps inside the line, starts 0-2.
There is not another commentator in college basketball who knows more about not being guarded at the offensive end than me. It's a really hard thing, because you can shoot the basketball every time you get it.
A turnover for the Cowboys.
Try to pass it to me. Try to get me the rock because I was still open.
Take a look at the series history between Wyoming and Utah State. Pokes have had the better of it all time. Utah State more recently, including 5 in a row. Their longest stretch of wins going back to the Mountain West tournament last season. So what do you do when teams are gapping?
You got to get to your spot and make your shots and just have confidence in it. You also got to be a screener, and a ball screener, a handoff screener as well. But Justin Bean is, wide open. Literally not guarding him at all.
Rooster finds Anderson. Dribble pull up. There's the first hit.
And just have patience. Your teammates trust you. They know you're out there for a reason. And the other thing for Justin Bean, and this is what he does a great job of, is running to rebound. If they're not guarding you, they also have a tough time boxing you out.
One of 2 reasons why the Aggies have out-rebounded every single opponent, and they lead D1 in margin. Here's Graham Ike. That's going to be a tough matchup against one of the best in the nation, Namish Keita.
It's not just that Keita's a tremendous shot blocker. He doesn't foul. He doesn't leave the floor. He's just a tremendous positional defensive player.
10 semifinalists for the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year, in addition being Mountain West Player of the Week. Too strong this time from Alfonso Anderson. Here's Williams, hesitates and goes, and they call him for the carry.
Well, let's take a look first. You mentioned Alfonso Anderson, and comes off a Justin Bean screen, and because there's no immediate help there with Hunter Thompson all the way in the lane, he gets a clean look. And then Ike's one into the basket. Too much? Should I show myself after that one?
No, it's too early for that. I'm going to need your help. He joined the Pokes in the new year after graduating from Oberlin High School. Here's Bean, this time puts it down. Midway point to shot clock. Wally Wooster rising for three. Utah State did not shoot it well from behind the arc against the Wolfpack. But they surrendered only one offensive rebound.
It was offensive rebounding and an unbelievable job by this guy defensively. He's as good as anybody in this league.
So you're not surprised to see him on Marcus Williams averaging 16 per for the post.
No, Marco Anthony, like, he's got a football body, and he transferred in from Virginia. And I'm telling you, it's not just that he's a good defender. He's an incredibly disciplined defender where, you know, if somebody's supposed to go left, he makes him go left and keeps him left. So many other guys, you know, they'll do what the coach wants initially, and then they go back to doing their own thing.
Looking across the key. Bean can't hit the three, can't hit the mid-range jumper, but he does get in underneath. I like what you said over the weekend. Anthony's still the reigning NCAA champion.
So he's an NCAA champion. He's like, I'm a defending champion.
Defense wasn't his forte in high school necessarily, coming out of San Antonio. As Kata vacuums up the board. But look, you play behind three future pros at Virginia, and you learn quickly the ticket to playing time is on that end. Being left alone, opposite block. Over Hunter Thompson.
Justin Bean he's just a tremendous college basketball player. Tremendous. The discipline it takes to not shoot a jump shot every time when you're wide open and to be a cutter and take smart shots is fantastic.
They send two at EK. On rotation, here's Doucette. Hunter Maldonado picked up by Bean. 10 to shoot for the post. They're just 1 of 3 with 3 turnovers at this end to start. Doucette knocked down.
Beautiful screen from Maldonado.
Doucette stepped up in conference play. Double figures, 8 of the last 10 for the Cowboys. Wooster comes to get it.
Raleigh, of course, missed several games with a lower leg injury.
Bean dared to let it fly. Goes to collect his own, but Maldonado pulls this one down.
See, that's where he doesn't need to make a move. Just take a dribble, take a breath. Literally nobody's guarding you. Shoot the basketball. Or don't. But the idea of shooting an off-balance three, you don't need to.
Williams turns the corner, goes early with the left. And a rebounding foul on EK.
Now, Justin Bean, he could end up with 40 tonight. They ain't going to guard him. Don't settle. The cut off the basketball. The reverse side finish. Brother Bean down the lane.
Doug Gottlieb has taken up late season residence here in Logan, Utah. He's seen Justin Bean go for back-to-back double-doubles.
But just a hard-playing dude and proving so many wrong in terms of his ability to score the basketball. This is like the worst part of his game. And against Nevada, he was wet, hitting jumper after jumper after jumper. High school coaches in town there. Maybe that's what it was. Not really sure. But I told the story, and it's a fascinating one. He was on his mission in Reno, actually at the University of Nevada campus. And a member of the previous staff got his tape, or got actually an email from his dad. And so they were playing about it and looked at him. His dad said, look, he's actually being recruited by some people. And so the director of his mission was trying to convince the staff to take him. Meanwhile, the assistant was trying to convince Justin Bean to come here as a recruited welcome. They're like recruiting each other in a subway in Reno.
I love the connection to Brock Miller. Miller's father-in-law, Jeff Anderson, played for the Aggies in the 80s. Also roomed with Justin Bean's father, who you referenced. Yeah. Gordon at Rich College, now BYU Underhill. Wyoming coach Jeff Linder very complimentary of Bean this week, saying he's not sure there's another player in the country who plays with as much effort or energy. Yep. He starts 2 of 6 shooting from the floor.
Look, that's a good shot. Keep taking, if you ask the Utah State coaches, they'll say to a man, like, he wins shooting drills. I think some of it is he plays so hard that it's hard to just slow down, relax, and shoot the basketball.
Kata has as many or more blocks individually than 186 other teams in D1. He doesn't get credit for a block there, but certainly altered the shot from EK. A giveaway by the Aggies. Here's Hunter Thompson.
And when they don't guard you, I actually take it as a term of respect. Like, and I mean this seriously. Like, he's so good, he cannot score a point and dominate this game. And that's what Hunter Thompson does. You wonder why Justin Bean wasn't leaving him. That's what that 6'10" tall drink of water does.
It's been a while for the Pokes, but last time out against New Mexico, in a couple of games, he knocked down 6 threes. Good to have Wooster back and feeling better with the Aggies. Thompson and Maldonado at the top of the post. Bean takes the switch. Maldonado spinning back to his right hand.
Well, last year, obviously, a disappointing year. Now in Edwards' last season. But Maldonado got a chance to just go get buckets. And so he definitely has that in his game at this level. The chance to just go on the dribble and get points because he just didn't have the scoring.
Last year, their leading scorer. Now that's Marcus Williams' honor. But Maldonado still leads in rebounding and assists. Left-handed finish. Alfonso Anderson, who celebrated Senior Day. A couple of starts and 12 points on Sunday.
He is a scoring kind of face-up four. Knows his role. That's where Utah State keeps you to one side of the court.
They send two at Ike on the catch. Splits the double. Finds Drake Jeffries. The Cowboys will fill it up from distance. Lead the conference in made threes. Second in the Mountain West in scoring. Bean will turn it down this time. 12-minute mark, opening half. See if the Aggies can get Cadestone. Comes up empty. Whistle away from the basketball. That's the first foul on Utah State.
Wyoming loves the Drake. Drake Jeffries started from the bottom. Here we are.
Pokes by one early, 3-point shooting the difference so far, and millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. We invite you to text play to the number on your screen to help kids stay in the game. Doug Gottlieb, take it away.
Can't think of a better cause. All right, let's teach the kids. This is a flare screen. So the rule in basketball defensively is ball you man, right? Ball you man, especially now. As we go back to a beautiful pass to Justin Bean, how'd they get it? Here's Raleigh Worcester. He comes up. A fist is the call. He hits Nima Keita at the high post, and then boom, little flare screen. Okay, flare screen comes from the weak side, so you flare, and Raleigh reads it correctly. You go over the top, you curl it towards the basket, and then, of course, Justin Bean, Johnny on the spot in the right position, catches and finishes the layup. So the reason the flare screen works is because the defense is supposed to be in between the ball and the man, and it's a very, very easy screen to read.
He didn't shoot it well to start, but he does have 6 of the Aggies' points. Stephen Ashworth enters the game, as does Max Shulga, freshman from Ukraine, part of the guard rotation for Craig Smith. Aggies 0 for 5 from behind the arc. Wyoming 3 of 5. Thompson launches another. This one caroms out of bounds. Glad you're with us tonight. From Logan with Doug Gottlieb, J.B. Long. If you like bubble basketball, we can feed your appetite here. Utah State with 16 wins came in with a net top 50, 2 quad 1 wins. As here's a 3-launched left wing, begging for Max Shulga. Doug, I know you talked about it over the weekend, but what has to happen between now and Selection Sunday for Craig Smith to get back in?
I just win, you know. Look, they're good enough to win this league. They beat San Diego State twice. Obviously lost to Boise. Boise has hit a rough patch there, losing to Fresno the other night.
Thompson, no hesitation, bang.
And then, again, there's it. Alfonso Anderson has to know the scatter report. That guy you can't leave. He's in a one-man zone. Now they're not guarding Shulga. It's a weird thing when you're like not guarded at all. You're like, wait, do I shoot this? And you're almost embarrassed when you miss because you're supposed to be able to make those.
This time they knock Thompson off the line. Same result for Jeffries, who leads the team in made threes. Five of 8 from behind the arc for the visitors.
This is some good shooting, Tex. Wyoming threes raining down in Logan. Well, Wyoming's got Utah State all spread out as the drive in from Williams, and now you have shooter. That's the old swing or extra pass. And when you have a choice between guarding Hunter Maldonado, who's got 2 threes, or guarding Drake Jeffries, who's got 2 threes, there's really no good decision there. There's again that little flare screen. Shulga wide open.
Weak side rebound, pulled down by Anderson. He goes to work, turns right shoulder. How about a third bite? This one stripped out. Shulga collects. Extra pass, Anderson. Cada.
They need to get Ashworth some open looks. He's the best shooter on the floor.
Shulga wanted to and stared dead to let fly again. And a tip rebound, we're going the other way. The first 10 off the mark from three-point range.
And you say, well, how's a good shooting team 0 of 10? Eventually, I mean, it's basically playing the math. And you can see Wyoming. You can hear some Wyoming fans here cheering. That it's almost out of embarrassment. But you pick the worst shooters, you don't guard them, and then you guard. It's almost like a triangle and 2, only they're playing a 1 or a 2-man zone.
Bean's back on as the Aggies go small here.
The Aggies have only Justin Bean and a little Marco Anthony's not a great shooter either. The problem's going to be defensively, nobody defending the rim.
Bean steals it away. Ahead to Anderson. Spins to his left. Aggies can't take the lid off. They'll keep it.
Raleigh Worcester can shoot the basketball and Ashworth can shoot the basketball. And frankly, this is where Justin Bean running kind of right on the back of Alfonso Anderson. He brings his man to the play. And Utah State is all out of whack. Alfonso Anderson is a good shooter. He had a wide open shot. He turned it down. Then he passes to Ashworth, who's wide open, and he turns it down. I was like, wait, am I that open? Am I allowed to shoot that?
Mentioned the reaction of the 1,600 in attendance. It's great to see a good student population trying to support their Aggies. This was not the start they envisioned after the weekend against Nevada. Williams walks into a 3. Ike's back on the floor, had hands on the offensive board. But it ping-pongs to Ashworth and Utah State. Maybe they can scramble for a bucket. Bean, they needed it. And a free throw to follow. Let it get muddy. Embrace the muddiness.
They just standing down there in the dunker spot. I mean, look at how ugly this is. And that's how Wyoming wants it ugly. And you know what? Justin Bean, he's like, fine. You want it ugly? I get it ugly. Anderson drives in, and there's Justin Bean in the dunker spot. The dunker spot is you take the block, you know, or you post up and you a couple feet below it. And they call it the dunker spot because they're great athletes. You can give it to them there, and they can still dunk and finish on you.
Great free throw shooting night helped them to an easy victory, most recently against Nevada. Bean's a good free throw shooter, 85%, completes the three-point play. 9-minute mark, first half in Logan.
And remember, Utah State playing without Brock Miller, who's their best three-point shooter. Got a bad back.
Thompson, a stretch 4 for Wyoming. Anthony, hand checked by Marcus Williams.
You know, one of the things about Utah State, and this is, you have to watch these teams. As you watch Marco Anthony handle tight, you reach, I teach. He was going to the bucket anyway. One of the things I like about Utah State that the numbers can't tell the committee is their versatility. Right? You can play Marco Anthony 1 through 4 or 5, same thing with Justin Bean, and here they are playing small to adjust to the style of defense. And Ashworth with a beautiful pass.
Type of team you don't want to run into on the opening weekend in Indianapolis, right? They can beat you in multiple ways.
I don't want, and they have NCAA tournament experience on this roster a little bit.
Future pro in Cada.
Yep. Rim protection, three-point shooting, quality coaching. Older team, no thanks.
Williams and a much younger Wyoming group. They've not been intimidated. Ducell bottoms. 6 made 3 for the Pokes. Ashworth, the one finally breaks the spell. Good call, Doug. 37% from distance on his season.
You can't wear your Grinch Kobe's and not shoot the ball well. That is.
Sean Bairstow in to defend Williams. Trying to get all the way home. Bean rips it down. Anthony in transition. Bairstow turns it down to put it down. Finds Bean. Couldn't finish. Maldonado fakes the handoff. Offensive foul. 170 pounds, but Stephen Ashworth gave up the body.
It has devolved into the old YMCA game. Three-point line to three-point line. Ducell for 3. Ashworth for 3.
Doug, given the three-point disparity, surprising it's only a one-possession game.
It is, and this is what Wyoming does, though. Like, this is not out of character. Is they got dudes that can shoot. Hunter Thompson can shoot the basketball, and this kid can absolutely stripe it. You watch Drake Jeffries shoot in any tape you watch at Wyoming, in any warm-up, you're like, that guy can shoot, and they just spread you out. And they play off of your normal defensive rules. Where you're helping, they're going to hurt you.
Jeffries, Ducell, and Thompson all with 6 points. A balanced attack for Wyoming. Again, the only meeting between these programs this season after they were postponed in February. Worth noting for Wyoming, missing due to injury tonight, Kenny Foster and Owen Nelson, a couple of sophomores in the backcourt and front court respectively. So Brock Miller missing for the Aggies, Foster and Nelson for the Pokes.
Okay, so now an adjustment here as Maldonado is going to guard Bean. That gives him a more athletic defender in terms of guarding kind of nowhere.
Ashworth, offense and defense.
Doesn't matter. Stephen Ashworth came in offensive-minded, little freshman guard from Lone Pine.
So from down 7, they've rallied to tied at 22 apiece.
With this small lineup, they can switch every screen.
And that's with Marcus Williams, the point guard for the Pokes, off the floor. They let Hunter Maldonado run the show. Ashworth picks up his first foul.
So if you're watching Ashworth, like, what are those shoes? Okay, those are the Grinch, the special Grinch Kobe's, but they're not his shoes.
Whose are they?
They're a good question. There's a good follow-up, okay? Ryan Corbett is the manager on the bench, and he is wearing some blue Nikes that are bright blue.
Wait a second. This isn't the same Ryan who got teed up the other day.
It was. He got a tee. Now he's sitting down. Now you can see him with those blue shoes clapping his hands. He got a technical foul the other day. Now, those were the birthday present from Ashworth's dad to Ashworth last May. He's won them once or twice, and they worked a deal. Hey, I want to wear those shoes. They both wear 10.5, 11, so it's a little shoe swap today.
Can I tell you something?
I think Ashworth got the better of the deal. Those are big time. What?
You know the saying, never let facts get in the way of a good story?
Oh, yeah.
It was rumored around Logan today.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, that because the technical foul, he lost the shoes. He was wearing those shoes when he got the technical foul. That actually is out.
No, I was going a different way with this.
Okay.
Quan Marble into the game, missing the corner 3. Cada goes to get it. Apparently, the strength and conditioning coach, Logan Ogden, might have been the one who was deserving of the technical.
Listen, don't let facts get in the way of a really good story.
And by the way, assistant Eric Peterson had a great moment on Twitter with one of the how it started, how it's going.
Yes.
Because the student manager was honored pre-game and got teed up in-game. Not bad for senior night. Amazing that we've gone this far without digging in on the Conference Player of the Week. Last 4 games, 26 per night, nearly 13 boards. To go along with the 3 assists and 2 blocks he typically averages. Could not erase Maldonado, though, who challenges at the rim.
Well, this is really good coaching from Coach Linder, because you had Maldonado being guarded by Nemi Keita, and they just ISO'd him. That's like a 1-on-5. That's a hard guard.
Wooster.
Molly Wooster's like, you're not guarding me? I'm not the guy. Guard me. I will make shots.
Wonder if the first hit by Stephen Ashworth off the fence. Oh, that one is rejected. As they scramble for it, Wooster comes away. No numbers for the Aggies. Anthony circling. Here's Bairstow getting some first half burn. I was going to say the lift that Ashworth gave him off the bench, I think, turned the tide in this first half.
I would just say overall the defensive intensity cranked up. They just started guarding, and yes, Ashworth gave them some made buckets, but when they went small, the defense just cranked up.
Look at Kenny Foster. He's actually making an appearance. Thought was he would not play. Maldonado's heating up.
They got a bad cross match there as they're trying to have Nemi Keita play off of one guy, and Maldonado hit that 3 because he's got Keita on him. And Keita was nowhere close to him. Now Maldonado just fisted out. A TV timeout upcoming.
A lot of Aggies being dared to shoot from distance. All brown and gold there for the board. Don't leave him. Aggies get away with it as it's over the board.
You mentioned the conference player of the week, Nemi Keita. Little high-low. Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't jump.
All right, Rob Stone and Steve Lavin standing by to discuss whether Seton Hall, Xavier, Duke, or North Carolina will make the tournament, plus first half analysis and stats all coming up on the halftime report. To Gottlieb, some people around these parts wondering whether Nemish Keita is playing his last game in Logan.
Well, I don't know if he's going pro or he's coming back. I mean, I didn't expect him to come back, and maybe even after his freshman year. Then last year, an injury-plagued year, and of course, you had COVID shut down the NCAA tournament. But Nemi Keita is different, man. He continues to develop his offensive game. Defensively, he's special. And as a person, like, guys just gravitate towards him. And you look at the numbers, and remember when they dominated Nevada, Nevada has quality big players. It's not like he played against Oompa Loompas in there. And here's his only 2 tonight. But it's the patience that I liked, where he hadn't gotten the ball. It's like high-low, throw it to the high. I'm going to hold the seal. And Hunter Thompson is just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But he's very skilled. He's not just all athletic ability. He's got good feet, he's got good hands, he's got good discipline.
The numbers he's put up this year as a junior put him in a group with Chris Webber, Tim Duncan, Bo Outlaw in terms of scoring, boarding, assists, and blocks.
See, they're not guarding Marco Anthony. Hunter Maldonado is smartly saying, I'm going to lay off the non-shooters. Unfortunately, turned the ball over when he might have got bumped by Keita.
6 for the visitors. Brewster trying to capitalize at the free throw line.
Such a connected basketball team.
Drake Jeffries' first foul. That's what we say. It was 92 consecutive games for Brock Miller.
Yeah.
In an Aggie uniform before he missed tonight. And I think his absence being felt along that three-point arc.
Raleigh Worcester is an unbelievable story. Played high school football as a star and basketball. 2A, Missoula, Montana. Shows up and just wins the starting job as point guard. Got a little rust from missing a couple games, the lower leg injury.
Keita mistimed his first jump, back up with the second.
They're just going to spread you out, high ball screen, get to a spot. Rebounding has been a big story for Utah State. I think you mentioned they've out-rebounded every opponent this year. Everyone.
12 times by double digits.
And sometimes they're sending 3 or 4 to the boards, and sometimes they're just throwing that guy to the boards.
Long stretch here for Wyoming without Marcus Williams, their leading scorer. Got the shot they wanted?
Yes, it was the shot they wanted. Linder's like, man, we ran that set perfectly. A little deep, but Drake Jeffries can shoot that.
Wooster playmaking. He broke Trace Tinkle's Hellgate High School scoring record in Missoula.
I don't like how he just landed on his right foot. He's talking to himself right now. He's not happy. But yes, Trace Tinkle starred at Oregon State. His dad, of course, was the coach of Montana at the time.
But anything lower leg here for Wooster is going to be concerning. He just came back.
He said, you know, I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it was a foot injury. And now watch when he lands. Kind of lands awkwardly, and then he starts kind of mumbling to himself, grimacing a little bit. This kid is a tremendous basketball player. Basketball family. Used to have wars out in the driveway. Grew up with sisters that played, and he would always practice with them. They'd beat up on him. He keeps lacing up his shoes.
So he's out for a stretch from January the 27th until last Sunday against the Wolfpack.
And that's the part about, you know, the Boise losses where, you know, you lose your point guard. Boise's really good. You only play him up there.
Here he comes, showing no ill effects.
Like, hey, dude, you got a bad foot. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I mean, big-time quarterback, too. Like 3,000 yards passing. Wasn't like he was running the triple option. But all of a sudden, he remembers, like, hey, I'm an athlete. I'm going to go in and finish. Get in there and get to the line. You know, there's some sneaky parts about Utah State which you don't expect. I think you know Nemi Keita. You know, I think you know that they're going to be connected defensively. But, man, they transition from defense to offense. They advance past the ball, which means they don't dribble it from the top of the key to the top of the key. They shove it right down your throat. And then if you make them run offense, they can run some offense. And then they rebound like madmen.
Now, let's say their ball movement at the offensive end is typically as good as any team I've seen this year, but it looks different, doesn't it, without Brock Miller on the floor?
Some, yes. I mean, because he commands such respect as a shooter.
And the way Wyoming is playing them defensively. Maldonado goes to work in deep on Bean. Ashworth had it stripped.
Great play from Maldonado on the weak side.
Xavier Dussel crossing over on Bean. And the right-handed finish.
Don't be mean, Xavier Dussel. That was filthy.
48% of Wyoming's scoring in conference games comes from the freshman class. Doug, when you see a Wyoming senior check in, you let me know. It'll be the first.
Well, I mean, look, they just scrapped what was happening with Coach Edwards' staff and kept a couple of pieces they wanted to start over.
Marble. Juan Marble the second. One and done for the Pokes. Ashworth pulls up. Good check out by the Cowboys, but who's scrapping? Shulga. What a revelation he was over the weekend. At times without Miller and Wooster, Max Shulga stepped up.
Well, first, who wouldn't want to play in this style if you're Hunter Maldonado? Just space out, everybody outside the three-point line. I get to go one-on-one, and he goes at Justin Bean. They're taking turns on Justin Bean, who's really a power forward. Xavier Dussel. Filthy. But Bean is in for a reason, and this is the reason. Just effort, energy, and there's Max Shulga ends up getting the deflection and the score.
Take a look at the conference standings. A reminder of what's at stake. 4 teams with top 50 net rankings trying to fight their way to the NCAA tournament. Obviously, Vegas awaits. San Diego State ranked, winners of 11 in a row, and have clinched the regular season crown.
And it's really hard. I mean, obviously, everybody knows this league. I mean, some of your wins are determined based upon did you play New Mexico Air Force and San Jose. How many times did you play them? It is hard to differentiate these teams.
But I think the point you make about Worcester missing some critical games for Utah State should be taken into account by the selection committee.
Yeah, and I mean, San Diego State shouldn't be an 8 seed. I mean, come on. But they're fighting the perception battle and the numbers battle, because the non-conference was, one, not great for some of these teams, and two, just difficult in order to get out of this region of the country to play games.
Marcus Williams is back with the ball for the Pokes. On rotation, Jeffries. He's been dead-eye in this first half.
What a beautiful, beautiful set out of transition. Oh, spacing, ball movement, swing, extra pass. Best shooter in the gym, laces him wet.
His third made three in the first 20 minutes. Shot clock turned off. Raleigh Worcester with the ball. They play through Anderson, checked by Maldonado. With 5 he goes. Lost the handle, but a whistle. It's a 1-1.
Well, they run a little ghost screen with Drake Jeffries. Watch this. That's a ghost screen. Fakes the screen. They get the baseline drive. Look at the spacing. Everybody outside the three-point line. One extra pass. Best shooter in the gym. Splash. That was one by design and then two great execution from a young Wyoming squad.
That's the Gottlieb cam. If you're a football junkie, there's like the all-22 for tape nerds like me.
Slash, is that the Slash name?
That's the all-10 look.
All-10, yeah.
Slash cam, yes, if you're technical in TV production. Anderson earns his second.
I've actually directed a segment of a game going back years ago.
I could see that.
It was a little bit of a stunt.
Did your broadcast partner know, or was?
Yeah, no, I was all wired up. I walked into the truck. I called out the shots or whatever. Ready for take 4.
Sean Bairstow returns for Utah State. Final 3.3. Pokes led by as many as 7. Aggies by as many as 6. Here's Xavier Dussel. Close. It would have been a fitting end to the half.
What a half. Catch our breath. Aggies fortunate to be up 3 as the Cowboys giving them a ride.